Hello, welcome back to the channel. Hope y'all had a good Christmas or whatever the fuck. Um, I have here next to me, on my right, all of the books I've gotten for Christmas this year. Most of them I got myself. One of them my mom gave me. So, I actually have a lot more I haven't read this year than I did the last time I did one of these videos. So that's positive, I guess. You can kind of see a Christmas tree there. Not really, though. I just thought I'd do it down here since the last one was down here. Kind of whatever. I'm going to start with the ones I have read because that seems more, you know. Alright. Let's do it from the bottom of the pile so I can stack these again better when I'm done. Okay. This is from the pile that I have read, to reiterate. First we have Dow Mossman's The Stones of Summer. I fucking love this novel. I don't do top tens, but if I did, this would be one of them that I've recently added. Relatively recently, at least. I can't really think of any others except for Darkenville's Cat and The Tunnel by William H. Gass. But yeah, this is a sort of American magical realism, I guess. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just, typical story of a dude through his sort of life. But the main draw for this one is the prose. It's it's pretty. It's real pretty. I'm just gonna read the first paragraph here. When August came, thick as a dream of falling timbers, Dawes Williams and his mother would pick Simpson up at his office, and then they would all drive west all evening, the sun before them dying like the insides of a stone melon, split and watery, having with blood. August was always an endless day. He felt, white as wood, slow as light. Dawes shifted about in his seat, uncomfortable, watching the land slide past. It was late, a steady progression of night. The conversations inside the car were like great wood eyes, and driving west over Iowa, the evening was always air vague with towns, blue fences, and crossroads vacant of cars. He watched the deserted country porches slide by like lonely pickets, guarding the gray, outbreaking storm of sky, like jets of rock. So, yeah. Honest to God, it's one of my favorite novels now. It's so good. Genuinely impressed me. So, yeah. Next, going from the bottom of the pile to the top so I can stack these later, like I said, we have one of the best books I read this year, Phenomenology of Perception by Maurice Merleau-Ponty. I cannot praise this work highly enough. He was one of the leading fathers in terms of the philosophical movement of phenomenology. You know, This is one of possibly, it is so good. It is, man. There's a lot of stuff here. It's just, yeah. Um, you have essentially some really great philosophical ideas combined with his prose, which is beautiful. I'll have to post some snippets of it in my community tab because I have a bunch of snippets of it. Um, yeah, I only had a PDF of this and the one I just showed, but now I have an actual copy of it, and I'm really, really happy with that. By the way, I found this in Half Price Books. I just went in there, saw it on the shelf, and I wasn't even looking for it or anything. I was just like, yoink, this is mine now. I'm not passing up the chance to get this. I'm not really going into detail, to be honest, because this is just a brief, like, I'm showing you what I got. But yeah, if you're into philosophy and really, really, really pretty prose, I would definitely recommend this one. It's really good. Next up, in the pile of books that I have read before, is E.M. Cioran's The Trouble with Being Born. I don't fully agree with his philosophy or many of his ideas, but I cannot deny that this is a really damn good philosophy book. Some of the aphorisms in here, because that's the way it's written entirely in philosophy, in aphorisms, I mean. I'm trying to find one that. Where is it? It's somewhere here, but essentially, some of these in here are insane. Are just, they hit you. They hit you full force. I mean, here's one. Unlike Job, I have not cursed the day I was born. All the other days, on the contrary, I have covered with my anathemas. When I first read that, that one hit me real hard. I'm trying to find the one that I remember was like, holy fuck. Um, right, here it is. Regarding death, I ceaselessly waver between mystery and inconsequentiality, between the pyramids and the morgue. Fuck, man, that one. Essentially, this is pessimist philosophy condensed into bite-sized aphorisms that hit you with the force of a truck at times. It it's good. It's real good. I would recommend it if you can handle it because yeah. There's a reason it's pessimistic philosophy, and there honestly might be some antinatalism in here as well. That I missed, or maybe I didn't miss. I'm just being stupid. Who knows? Next up, I read this one a while ago, actually. It's taken me this long to get a copy, but Buddenbrooks by Thomas Mann. For a good minute there, my favorite novel was The Magic Mountain by Thomas Mann, and now I have the three main novels that everyone talks about with him: The Magic Mountain, Dr. Faustus, and Buddenbrooks. These are just great reads. Thomas Mann, man, he was real good. This one was his first novel, and he published this when he was in his, I think it was mid-20s. Could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure it was in his mid-20s. And essentially, it's the story of a family over 4 generations and how it slowly disintegrates, essentially, how their business slowly disappears. And it's semi autobiographical because the same was true of Thomas Mann. And if it wasn't for the success of this novel, who knows what might have happened to him. So, yeah, great novel, highly recommended if you like the kind of books that I like. Johnny Woods is just a great translator, in my humble opinion. Next, we have another one I read a while ago, but Pale Fire by Vladimir Novakov. Oh boy, what can I say about this author that other people haven't already said? Not much, really. Not much. I'm going to be real, not much. Um, Essentially, this was written back in the early 60s, and it is a prototype of postmodern literature as well as postmodern literature, really. But this is essentially, it contains a fictional poem, but it's there's a it's a, how do I explain this? It's a 999 line poem with commentary. It's all fiction, obviously, but the way it weaves and ties together is really cool. And honestly, it's Novikov. I have to recommend this. I mean, all of his novels are really well written. So, I mean, obviously the most popular one is Lolita, for good reason. It's probably one of the most disgusting yet beautiful books ever written. It's the same with The Tunnel by William H. Gass. It's, man, can't recommend this one enough. And that's all the ones that I have read before in PDF form. Now we're getting on to the bigger stack of ones that I haven't. So, let us begin, shall we? Starting from the bottom again, so I can keep these relatively easy to stack again. We have Cyclonopedia, Complicity with Anomalous Materials by, how do I pronounce that? Reza Negarestani, I think. I have no idea. Um, Essentially, I saw this on just like philosophical horror list, and I was like, okay, I don't care what it's about. I'm reading it. If it can spook me like that, then I am so down. Um, it's apparently about the Middle East and such, and how apparently oil is a living thing and the earth is living. I mean, it is, but he means it in like a it's living kind of way, apparently. And yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to read this one. And apparently, my friend Matthew also has it. He hasn't read it yet. So if you're watching this, Matthew, well, I'm not going to say that. That would be a bit of a breach of privacy. But yeah, if you're watching this, I guess I'll tell you what I think of it when I get around to it. Who knows when that's going to be? Because I have a, yeah. Where did this one go? Right, I think it went on top of Phenomenology of Perception. Yes, it did. I am smart. I remember things. Alrighty. Next up, we have. Oh, come on. We have Sea Above, Sun Below, which is a play on the phrase as above, so below, obviously, by George Salis, who fucking cares? I certainly don't. Um, Essentially, I just saw this one recommended by Joseph McElroy, for instance, on the cover, as you can see. I mean, you can't really, but if I get closer, I think you can, yeah. As well as Alexander Thoreau, for fuck's sake. Like, I'm sorry, when those two authors recommend a book, I'm going to fucking read it. I don't care what you have to say about the matter. I'm going to. Yeah. I just apparently this was self-published, which is crazy to me. And then I see the epigrams, and I'm like, wow, okay, Marquez and the Bible for some reason. It's just, man, I really, yeah, I can't wait to read this one because Alexander Thoreau and Joseph McElroy are amazing writers, and they have written some real good books. I mean, Women and Men and Darkenville's Cat. I mean, come on. You have to be kidding yourself if those aren't good to you. Where did this one go? Fuck. Um, pretty sure. Well, seems right. Okay. This pile is getting bigger and bigger as we go on. And now the one that my mom got me. Because, yeah. It's a book about how to act and how to get into the acting business. I mean, I'll read it because who knows, it might have some stuff in here that might help me, but I don't know, man. It's like who cares, really? I, I've done voice acting enough by myself. I'm pretty sure I don't need this because voice acting and acting are kind of similar. I'll give that. Um, yeah, don't really have much to say about that one. I mean, I'm thankful she got it for me. Obviously, I'm not a fucking asshole, but it's not really priority for me to read if I'm going to be entirely honest. Because, well, I'm not going to fucking lie about how I feel about things. That would be duplicitous and serpentine, and fuck that shit. Next up, we have another one I got at Half Price Books recently. Been waiting to get this one for a bit too. The Complete Stories of Flannery O'Connor. I've heard she is amazing. From Cliff Sargent, Better Than Food. He reviewed A Good Man Is Hard to Find, and what was the other one? Fuck, what was the other one? Oh, another one of her novels. Wise Blood, that was the one, right. Essentially, this is like a gothic southern literature, which, I mean, I like Faulkner, so I'm assuming I'm gonna like this because it's kind of the same vein. But who knows how it's written? Who knows what her style is? I don't know. I've never read anything by her before. I guess I'll find out, won't I? Yes, I will. Where did this one go again? It appears it goes below Buddenbrooks. Right. You're probably wondering how I organize these books, and essentially the way I do it is I do it by like how long they are, like smaller, like you know, lengthwise, I guess. Like the longest ones on the bottom, smallest ones on the top, like that. That's how I do it most of the time. I don't know why. It's just what I do. Um, Next up, we have another Vladimir Novakov book that I am currently reading, actually. Panin, who knows? This one so far has been about a Russian professor and just his exploits. It's really been interesting. It's also helped me with Russian, surprisingly enough, because I've been trying to learn it, but I've been going about it with the Cyrillic, which fucking sucks. So like seeing him write out like how it's pronounced in English, it's like that's neat. Yeah. So yeah, Panine. It's good so far. Definitely is. I mean, it's Novikov. Of course it is. I don't know what else I expected from a master writer. Next up, we have another book that I heard about from Cliff Sargent of Better Than Food, Maupertuis by Jean Ray. This one is apparently insanely weird and just trippy. And I'm looking at this cover and I'm like, this is amazing cover. I love this cover. This is so pretty. I haven't started reading this one yet, but I cannot wait to get to it because, yeah, everything that Cliff said in his review intrigued me, including the spoiler section, which wasn't really a spoiler because it's like, how can you spoil that in a way that actually ruins it for someone? It's just like, man, I can't wait to read this one. It sounds amazing. Plus, it's gothic horror. And like, I mean, gothic horror. Come on. Okay, now we're getting to the disturbing ones. Oh boy. Um, Negative Space by B.R. Yeager. I don't remember where I first heard about this one. I think I heard about it first from Juan Valencia, I think is how you pronounce his name, of the what was the channel? He does like books about, he does videos about disturbing and just in general transgressive fiction. Um I don't know him personally, but I'm kind of worried for him because of his last video. I'm just um I hope he's doing okay, but everything he said about this when he did a mini review of it just made me want to read it so bad. And the epigrams are from Douglas Hofstadter, which based great author, and then Charles Manson. Hmm. I mean, to be fair, this quote is pretty fire. Whatever the outcome of this madness you call fair trial or Christian justice, you can know this: in my mind's eye, my thoughts light fires in your cities. Jesus Christ, that's fucked. Yeah, I just like horror, and apparently this is like real scary at times. Well, no, disturbing. The way you described it kind of made me not sure what to expect in terms of that. But I love the cover. It's really cool. I like the design of this back cover too. Very neat. Apocalypse Party is the publisher apparently. Neat. Oh no, I have to hold this one again. I don't want to. Um, okay. Next up is another B.R. Yeager novel by the title of Amygdalatropolis, and I heard about this one from the same guy, that same channel, as well as Travel Through Stories. Um, yeah, I think the cover is enough to tell me what to expect in this novel. Um, it's apparently about the internet and how it fucks with people, and well, oh my god, what the fuck? Whoa. That's that jump scared me. I'm not even gonna lie, that fucking jump scared me. Fucking hell, what is this? I don't wanna know. Fuck. Oh god. Oh, wow, this is a long introduction. 33 pages. Oh, good lord. Okay. Yeah, that one. That one's gonna fuck me up. I can tell just from looking at the first page. Oh my god. I'm not gonna think about that until I read it anymore. Yeah. Next up we have Inner Zone, William S. Burroughs. I thought it was finally time to read him because, well, Naked Lunch, Cronenberg movie. I knew it was inspired by a novel, and I just was like, I need to finally read something by him. And apparently, this is like how he moved on from his old style into his Naked Lunch days. Which I mean, what better place to start? Um, I've heard his style is really fascinating and interesting, and oh boy, next up is The Woman in Black by Susan Hill. I'm pretty close to finishing this one. It's like 49 pages to go. This is a gothic horror novel. Love me some gothic horror. Um, yeah, it's got me kind of unsettled, but I wouldn't say it spooked me in like a spook way. You know, I don't know if that make wow. You can. I just realized the pile has been slowly growing in the side of the camera. But yeah, I've been reading this. I was kind of expecting the prose style to be more of like the gothic type of stuff, but no, it's very modern, which that was disappointing. But overall, it's gotten me spooked a few times. I'm liking it. And finally, we have The Deloriad by Missouri Williams. First of all, I love that title. Love that title. Um, this is apparently a novel about a post-apocalyptic group of incestuous family. Apparently, the main person's called the matriarch. I heard about this one about with your stories. The way he described it as a combination of Laszlo Krasznahorkai, Cormac McCarthy, and a Tessa Moshfegh really piqued my interest. All right, yes, it did. Um, and I open it up and I see the epigrams, and there's Kafka, which, yes, and then there's Clarice Lispector. I'm sorry, you've already got me there. Um, any author that's like, oh yes, I will use Clarice Lispector as an epigram. Fuck yes. Goddamn fuck yes. Yeah. Apparently, this one's also really disturbing, so I guess I'll see if it lives up to that reputation. I mean, who knows? Who knows? But yeah, that's the final one. And to give you an idea of how much there is, yep, 16. 16 books. Thank you for watching.